Hello and welcome to my channel, and today I will teach you how to be a delusional survivor. This guide will teach you how to inflate your survivor ego into becoming fully fledged delusional survivor main. Number 1. Meta perks. To begin the process of ultimately becoming a delusional survivor, you must first take zero creativity into forging your perk loadout. Yes. Not every delusional survivor uses meta perks. However, these meta perks will in fact aid you into reaching fully fledged delusional status. Some of these perks include Borrow Time and Dead Hard, and since the Hour of the Witch chapter released not too long ago, equipping both boon totems are great crutch perks to keep that killer searching for you for 20 minutes straight after the 4th gen is complete and 2 survivors are only left. Trust me, it works. I also recommend taking into account second chance perks for when you accidentally fall victim to the game's intended mechanics and leave that killer tasting victory. When your killer is tasting victory, ready to finally plop you or your friend on hook, hit him with that decisive strike. Or when you save your teammate from the killer's face right after they've been hooked, make sure you're running borrow time so they have to waste even more time. And to add insult to downright bullshit, finally, when they say that was toxic or rude, tell them to go cry themselves to sleep that they're a baby killer, or better yet, hit them with the "you'll get better, nurse is a difficult killer, lol." Number 2. Wasting the killer's time. Now that you got the fundamentals of zero creativity when it comes to choosing your perks, now we move on to our second installment. Part 2 includes wasting the killer's time. In a perfectly balanced game such as Dead by Daylight, there are a plethora of opportunities for you to waste the killer's time and to get on their last nerve. Now, to begin, you must first realize the person behind their computer who is playing as your killer is in fact not a human being such as yourself, and you should not put into any thought about how they feel or if they're new to the game or not. Once you have mastered this ancient technique, you will not feel guilty for them, therefore you can finally ascend into delusion. Good ways of wasting the killer's time in-game is assembling a SEAL Team 6 of survivor friends and making sure that you all bring items.
Gentlemen, lock and load. Viva la revolución! Any last words, Mr. President?
Yes, Jack. Any superlative words of inspiration for our humble troops?
You just got beamed, you fucking loser.
At least one flashlight, as flashlights seem to anger mid to low tier killers for some odd reason. Now, don't get me wrong, these strategies may be ineffective against your killer because they might be an ultra chad gamer such as myself and do not take this game seriously enough to let a delusional survivor get on their nerves. When you see a killer like this, you will know they'll say things like LMAO, still got that 3K nerd. If you encounter this mongoloid of a creature, immediately hit escape and get the hell out of there. Number 3. Fortnite dancing on your killer. Okay. I understand why this section may be a bit misleading. First, we must understand what it means to Fortnite dance on your killer. When I say this, I mean you must Fortnite dance on your killer physically and mentally. You may be asking yourself, okay, I know how to butt dance at an exit gate or at a drop pallet, but what does it mean to Fortnite dance on your killer? You must metaphorically hit that chug jug and dab on your killer's pent up anger after you yourself have created it. Once you have utterly pissed off your killer, you must go further. You have to dig deeper. Loop that killer at that same football field size pallet loop and greet that pallet as many times before dropping it. Then, when you do eventually have to play by the game's intended mechanics, throw it in the killer's face that you've wasted their time. Yes, I mean teabag. Teabag as much as your keyboard will physically allow. And once you've broken your control key, flick that flashlight. Flick it in the killer's face or just in their general direction. Once your killer has PTSD flashbacks every time they hear that ticking noise, that is not enough. Do you understand now, right? Push your killer hard every single match. And make sure you and your friends laugh at them every single time. Number 4, master the flashlight techs. There are a multitude of techniques that you yourself can put in your flashlight arsenal to ultimately piss off your killer. One of these techniques I mentioned in section 3 is what me and my friends like to call flicky flashlight. This technique is quite simple and consists of yourself flicking your flashlight as much as humanly possible in the killer's general direction as much and as frequent during the match. Trying to get their attention as we know it helps delusional and egotistical survivors thrive in their natural environment. Also get any safe flashlight save you can. There are many flashlight techniques found on YouTube, which you can look up and learn for yourself. I will not provide one, as there are so many, but things like crossing beams, chain blinding, blinding over vaults will help you tremendously anger your killer. Finally, for our flashlight section, practicing and getting better at flashlight dead hard baiting is a semi-reliable way of tilting your killer and making them play poorly. Number 5. Bringing map offerings. The most important thing as a delusional survivor is to make sure that you will win every game, and the map that you are brought on can drastically change that. Luckily, most maps in this game are one way or another survivor-sided. Any big map is good because unless your killer is a beta cuck male that plays Nurse Spirit of Blight, most killers won't be able to apply pressure because it takes 2 years to get across the map and to catch up to survivors. Many good maps like the Gideon Meat Plant is great because there are so many safe pallets that any experienced or new survivor can pre-drop all them pallets while the killer's chasing you, while the rest of your friends hold M1 on them gens. A big map like RPD is great because the developers were so generous to add the whole fucking game of Resident Evil 2 and Dead by Daylight, making it impossible for the killer to find anybody. And there's Haddonfield. Number 5. Endgame chat. The ultimate toxic play is to be that keyboard warrior you always want to be. The second you get into endgame chat, whether the killer got 3k, 4k, or no kills at all, instantly hit him with a variety of snarky, rude comments like yawn, trash, baby killer, so bad, all that amazing stuff. Now, I don't really need to feed into rude comments for the survivors of this community. So if you can't think of any on your own, then I don't think you're really cut out to be a delusional survivor. Maybe go play killer. Which is why this brings us to our final section. Number 7, never play killer. If you are genuinely trying to become a delusional survivor main stuck in their fantasy world where they're never rude or abusing game mechanics or exploits and they're always right about everything, then I cannot stress this enough, do not play killer. If you do, you must play very, very little killer. And there are many reasons why you shouldn't. This game is not, and will probably never be balanced. If you go press that killer button all willy-nilly, you might just fall victim to a horrible, horrible illness known as sympathy. If you didn't notice the first time you saw the word, it contains the word simp, S-Y-M-P, which in reality is just a deceptive way of spelling simp. And us pro chat gamers know that any simp is a beta male. So don't go out associating yourself with killer mains, as you might feel sorry for them as if they were actual breathing human beings, because their feelings will and never matter. Okay, hello. It is 10 p.m. I am making this to tell you that if you came here all the way to the end of the video, my heart goes out to you. I spent a lot of time on this, and it took a long time, mainly for 2 reasons. Procrastination, a little bit, and also I wanted to just be sure, I wanted to be absolutely sure that I was proud of this video. And by the time I'm making this, I most likely am. And so yeah, thanks for anyone that watched this. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. It'll be awesome. Subscribe if you give a shit. Hitting the bell if you also give a shit, ×2. And other than that, I am going to head off and play some games. I hope you have a good day, morning, night, whatever time you're watching this. And yeah, other than that, have a good life.